Hello and welcome to another update stream for the Operation Candyland DCS Open Beta server, currently in its 7th run on day 6. And there's been quite a bit of action in the past 24 hours. So let's first take a look on the Discord, and we will go to mission information, daily objectives, and open up our mission briefing for the day. So primary objective, a red Tu-160 launched a cruise missile strike against Kutaisi, which destroyed multiple blue command and control buildings. This broke the chain of command and stopped the blue attack towards Glenzik. So basically all these ground units here couldn't proceed to Glenzik. Most blue units were forced to abandon the attack and retreat to Sochi, as we see that they've done. Prioritize on destroying Tu-160s any way possible. Recommended sortie is intercept. So just take these guys out of the sky. And here's a satellite image of one of the Tu-160s located at one of the airports on the map, the enemy airports. Secondary objective is a red transport fleet has made port at Glenzik and will begin unloading heavy armor soon. Try to destroy the transport ship to prevent units from unloading and destroy ground units that are unloaded. Ground support has been lost due to the bombing at Kutaisi, which we just talked about. Recommended sorties are anti-ship, ground attack, and seed. Where the mission has gotten to since that was posted is the blue ground units reversed course, got to Glenzik, killed all of the heavy armor that was being unloaded by the red transport fleet, and now started their push forward toward Novorossiysk. And we could see a recon group here on the move and potentially engaging. So it looks like Blue's push is finally a sustained push, and it's kind of reorganized after some confusion after the loss in the command and control bunkers and whatnot at Kutaisi. In the north, it's been pretty quiet and a pretty dead battle so far. Blue hasn't really been able to gather any force strength outside of Makop. Red, it's kind of the same story, hasn't been able to really get any force strength going at Krasnodar and pushing forward. Really all the action has been in the south, and it really looks like Blue is going to steamroll on its way to Anapa, I think is very likely. So from a mission standpoint, we got to kind of decide what to do here. So it doesn't seem like there's any Tu-160s in the air right now for us to go intercept. There is not. It doesn't look like there's one taking off anytime soon. There is not. So I don't think we'll have to do that, but that can change at any moment. One could come out of one of those sheltered bunkers and try to take off. What else can we do here, though? So we have a command group, some supply groups, really nothing that can push into Makop. So I don't think flying this way is going to really do us any good. Another command group at Isprivanya, another command component of the command group. So there's really just kind of a vacuum up here, like nothing that can push and make any progress. So I think we're best spent, or it's best for us to spend our time in the south and do something here. From a engagement standpoint, if we flip on engagement ranges, we could see that the SA-10 site has been destroyed by the tanks that were at Glenzik. We can see that there is another system, looks to be centered at Krimsk, and another system at Anapa, but doesn't look like there's one at Novorossiysk. So just an early warning radar, a bunker, command bunker, and some stuff taking off. So if we want, we can try and get out ahead of this and help our ground forces by just cleaning out anything that's at Novorossiysk. But we're going to have to deal with these ships, which are going to be in our way and trying to destroy us and shoot us down. And their engagement range is pretty significant. So we're going to have a hard time getting around those. So that all being said, it's not very clear to me what we could do right now to be super useful. We could go kill command bunkers up here at Krasnodar just to further hinder Red and them trying to put any advance forward on Maycop, and would also allow any scout units to move forward. But the problem is we just don't have anything on the way, so anything we kill is probably going to be repaired by the time blue ground units get there. We could do a cap flight or intercept flight, take out these fighters. Problem is blue units, our transport fleet that's unloading here, basically has air coverage or surface-to-air coverage everywhere around here. So really, I don't suspect Red's going to get in very far. As we can see, this MiG-29 is getting engaged right now. And he's probably going to get killed more than likely. And we can see more missiles coming up from the ship out there. So anyway, and there, he just died when I looked away. So there's really not an opportunity to do that. So I was thinking something a bit crazy though earlier today. Would it be possible to take this ship out on our own? I think if we dropped 2 CBU-10s on it, we could probably blow this thing up. Now, in order to get there, we can do an over-the-mountain pass and loft 2 GBUs into it, perhaps, is one possibility. But the problem is we're going to have to keep our laser on it, and so a loft bombing would be really good for like cluster bombs or something like that, but I don't think that's going to take out the ship. So I think what we might try to do, since at least the SA-10 site is down, is maybe we'll flirt with the outer ring of engagement of this ship. See if it shoots at us. If it doesn't, see if we can get close enough to drop. If it does, back out, and maybe we just do some wild weasel and get it to use up all its missiles on us. Problem though is he's pretty well covered by this group here. So we're going to have to kind of use these mountains to mask what this guy can see, and see if maybe we can just kind of come around the mountain, drop, and then get the hell out. Maybe Mark 82 airs wouldn't be a bad idea, because those would slow down, or snake eyes, so we could do a really low pass and drop and then turn away, and then the explosion of the bomb won't affect us. And then we don't have to worry about the T-pod and trying to get lock and all those different things. Which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, seems like it might be a smarter idea for what is probably not a very realistic suicide run, but I think it would be something that would be the most we can contribute right now at this point. So, that all being said, let's hop into a plane that's in the south, which is going to be Gaudata, and get up and going. Space Monkey is in the chat, and he says, by the way, what's the AI difficulty set to? Random? No. So basically, units start out with a random skill, and then based on if there's a commander, they can increase or decrease in skill. And if they kill stuff, they also increase in skill. So it's almost like they tech up in veterancy, if you will, as they're on the map. Like the longer they're on the map, the more skill they'll kind of bump up to. And it persists after restart. So once things come back into the server, or once the server restarts, whatever their difficulty was, it maintains. All right, so let's get started. Again, this current checklist is a work in progress, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it because it's not exactly quite right yet. So we'll just kind of blow through some of this here.
Chief, place the wheel chocks. Copy. Wheel chocks are now in place.
Okay. So just waiting for 20% RPM. Right shift and home. Wait for these indicators to go out and for us to be above 60% RPM and stabilized. Double check that your throttle is set to neutral. This would be a real-life test, but a nice way to just familiarize yourself with where all the lighting and warnings are.
Altitude. Warning. Camera. Counter. Chat flare. Low. Out. Block.
Okay. I'm going to do a stored heading right now just to save on time for the video's sake. I'm going to try that test Space Monkey to see if we hear on both, just out of curiosity. And I think last time to get it to fake it to work, I flipped that back and forth, just to see. Anyway, flight controls. Speed brake up. Fuel quantity to norm. Trim is centered. INS is not flashing yet. Alright, now it is. Switch to nav. And let's get rearmed. So I think we're going to go... This is more... we're focused on the bombing here. So I think I'm just going to take sidewinders and not weigh ourselves down because we're going to want speed. We'll take a center fuel tank that we can cut. I really, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think it's a good idea to take a GBU. I don't think we're going to have enough time to line it up. So I'm going to go with the biggest thing we could take, which is a Mark 84. I don't think we could take two of those. Oh, we could. Ooh, be a heavy boy. Alright.
Request refueling. Request rearming. Copy.
And while that's going on, let's tune into ATC. 130.
Refueling complete.
Enter. Right control backslash. ATC. Gaudata. Request startup.
Springfield 5-1. Request startup. Springfield 5-1. Gaudata, clear for startup. Wind 359. At 2 meters per second. Springfield 4 is RTB at 5,000.
Look at that space. So that's... I know it's UHF in both, so that makes sense that we would hear it. So now I'm going to switch to AWACS on the top one just to see what happens. I guess we could do magic on 336. So now the question will be, do we hear AI and AWACS? So we're 336 here, 330 here. Just be curious to see what they say. And let's make sure that we could actually talk to them. So right alt and AWACS, magic, bogey dope.
Magic 1-1, Springfield 5-1, request bogey dope. Springfield 5-1, magic 1-1, clean.
Okay. Let's set to both. See what happens. Okay. Right control and backslash. ATC, Gaudata, taxi.
Springfield 5-1, request taxi to runway.
And so that ship is out there, so let's...
5-1, Gidata, clear to taxi to runway 33.
So this will be runway 33, right there. So just make a right and that'll take us to it. And then, let's see, the ship is about here, so let's figure out what the closest waypoint to that is. So if I click on myself, and if the little lines don't show up, click on the waypoint tool. And we could see about waypoint 15 is where we want to go. So we'll punch that in.
Springfield 5-1, magic 1-1, bra 327, Fort 140 at 20,000, flanking.
Alright. I don't remember what number I just said, but I'll know when I highlight it on the HSD which one it is. That one, 15, sounds about right. We already tuned in the AWACS. Let's remove the grounded chocks. Oh. What?
Chief, remove the wheel chocks. Copy. Wheel chocks are now removed.
Alright, for taxi we'll switch to flash and turn our anti-collision on. Flip on our radar alt and roll forward. So if we were in a voice chat with other folks, we would announce what we're doing, Gaudata traffic, Candy taxiing runway 33. I'm sure I skipped the step of turning my HUD on, so do that. And I didn't do taxi 2 and 3 either, but again, just trying to get up a little bit quick here so this video doesn't go too long. Alright, so switch our IFF to norm. Speed brake is closed. Configuration to Cat 3 since we've got bombs. Or things on the wing, I should say. Landing lights to on. Ejection seat armed. Probe heat on. And we'll request takeoff. Right control backslash. ATC. Gaudata. Request takeoff.
Springfield 5-1, request takeoff. Springfield 5-1, Gidata, you are cleared for takeoff.
So QFE is basically the air pressure at the airport, and so the analog altimeter reads air pressure to figure out altitude, so we'll just dial in to 3060. Okay. And we're going to take off heading 300, so I'm going to set my heading bug accordingly. And that all looks good. So now for our voice channel purposes, gout out of traffic, Candy lining up runway 33. Alright, got out of traffic, Candy taking off runway 33, proceeding 300. Check our control surfaces one last time. Alright, away we go. We do a full burn takeoff. About 150 to 160, pull it back, 10 degrees. Positive climb, gear up. Hold it between 12 and 13, or 12 and 15 I should say. Attitude heading, or attitude hold, heading select. At 400 will come off the burner. We basically established our outbound heading. Got out of traffic, Candy exit 300. And now we'll turn toward steer point with steering select. Activate our air-to-air mode. Switch to AMRAM by, oh, actually we don't have AMRAMs. So I'm going to actually turn down that hissing, which is here. That's just the noise of the Sidewinder heat seeker. Exterior lighting as required, we'll just kill them all. And we're looking for climb up at about 400 casts, 0.82. External fuel tanks, we just have one, so we don't have to worry about usage, and we're tuned into AWACS. And that would be that. And I'm going to dip us down a little bit to a climb of about 10 degrees. Extend out our radar. Filter our HSD. Looks like we have a moment to think about things. So let's get our RWR on. Countermeasures. Helmet sight. Master arm on. Let's also go to air to ground and just look at our configuration. So we're currently in CCIP. We're going to drop one at a time. I think we're going to at least want to drop a pair, since these are pretty heavy bombs. We're going to be very trim.
Springfield 5-1, Magic 1-1, Bra 039, Fort 100 at 38,500, flanking.
We'll be very heavy on the trim if we don't drop a pair of them. Go back to air. Do an IFF sweep just to see what that guy is. Doesn't look like he's friendly. Let's check his altitude. So that's 37,000. Just keep an eye on that. We'll switch to track while scan. And extend out again here. So there are some targets pinging us. Can't quite break them out. 49 though, that's going to be friendly ships like Ticonderoga or Oliver Perry class cruiser. Okay, we're getting a lock from out there. That's the enemy ship, a T2, probably looking at this guy here. Not sure if he's a human pilot or not. But let's level off so we can pick up some speed and we'll take a look at him. So it looks like that's Kazmat. Going in with some J-Sows. I don't know if he knows how to use them, but if he gets those off the wing on some of those ships, that would be nice. And we could see a missile out from one of the ships. I don't know if he knows it's on its way, but hopefully he's going evasive. And it looks like he's flaring. I assume chaffing and flaring. Doesn't look like the other ship though engaged him, the one that we're after, which I think is kind of right in that little kind of dip in, a little curve, parenthesis if you will. And it just went stupid. So I don't have a brilliant plan on how we're going to do this, but we know that's Glenzik, it's in a bay. We know that other ship is probably about here. He doesn't come up as a radar threat, but neither do the other ships. He could be one of those, but it didn't seem like he took a shot at our friend there a moment ago. So it seems like as long as we could avoid the fire from the other ones, we might be able to get in on this one. Oh, there we could see that they killed him. Alright, Just because we're not coming up with too much fuel, but we're probably heavy. Gonna relax the throttle a little bit, try to get to Mach 8.2. Just make sure everything is configured correctly. One thing I'm going to want to do, or try to remember to do, is start our chaff flare program as we get sighted by that ship. So I normally run a 10 slow. Probably want to do a 20-20 fast and just pollute the air with a lot of flares and chaff. So let's go to program 4. Might have been smart to bring the T-pod with us, just so we could start looking for the ship at least and index where he'll be on the ground. But I imagine one way or another we'll see him. Looks like there might be a plane over here somewhere. Not necessarily heading toward us, so we're not configured for air-to-air anyway. Looks like whoever that guy is turning in front of us. I'm going to drop our distance out a little bit. Alright, so basically between Sochi and no, sorry, this is Tuapse. Somewhere between Tuapse and the next waypoint, that ship will exist. Looks like there's a plane here, but it's not trying to lock us. Just saw an Su-30 pop up. I don't think it's one of these close radar contacts, but just something we'll want to stay aware of. So there's Glenzik. So this guy is by the mountains, so he's either going to be here or more than likely right there. And I think he's going to be right up against the coastline. And I don't want to get too fixed. Just keep our eye out for anything. All right. So I'm hoping he's up ahead. And we're actually not flying over him. He's got some infrared sneaky stuff. Alright, so something's locking on to us, so I'm just going to brake left here. chill here for a moment. I really think he's here somewhere. Somewhere in this area. I can't make him out. Alright, so what we're going to do is return back in. So we're going to try pushing in a little bit lower here. So one group of ships is directly in front of us. I'm sure that's the Glenzik one that's locking us up now. Firing. I can see the smoke plume. Just gonna hang here for a second to see if we see the other ship. Can't make them out yet. So we'll turn cold. Right, broke lock. Just looking to see if we could see the detonation plume anywhere. Alright, so I think we'll come in a bit lower this time. And just follow the coastline and be shocked and surprised when we see this guy. The single ship that's out here. But we could use some terrain masking from those other ships this way.
Springfield 5-1, Magic 1-1, Rob 002 460 at 28,000 knots.
Alright, let's lose our center tank.
Springfield 5-1, Magic 1-1, Rob 007 450 at 28,000 flanking. Altitude. Altitude.
I do remember when I was looking at the map, it was by a river. And that was the pass we were going to use to come in on them.
Altitude. Altitude.
And I'm going to turn our radar up a little bit since we're so low, just to catch anything high up coming at us. Contrail, looks like it's split though, so that's probably a larger heavy plane.
Altitude. Altitude.
There he is. Not going to get him on this pass.
Altitude. Altitude.
think he is gettable.
Altitude.
Some Mark 82 errors, I think, would have been a really smart decision here. But we're going to deal with what we got to deal with. Now the question is, should we put all 4 bombs in and hope for the best, or should we leave ourselves with 2 in case we miss? Problem is, if we keep 2 on our wings, it's going to be hard to do a high G pullout to avoid this guy's missiles if he gets them off on us, and avoid the explosion of the bombs, because it's going to be a very close drop. So I think we do it. I think we drop 2 pair here. So as soon as I see him, I'm going to run a chaff flare program, get a little altitude, and try and just drop it on him. No, no good. It's a bit tighter of a turn than I thought it was going to be. Oh, we had chaff. All right.
Altitude.
You'll stay. It's okay. But the guys in that ship are shitting bricks.
Altitude.
Alright, so maybe we're going to change our approach here a little bit. Rather than trying to come around the turn, maybe we come over the hill. So it's going to be this little hilltop here. We're going to get taken by surprise, but if we drop the bombs and cut right away, it might be okay. Okay, I want to come from this angle a little bit. Ideally put the bombs into his side, if we can. Running our program. No good.
Altitude.
this one that he's at? Yeah, he's there. Alright. I think what we should do is come this way then.
Hold up. Altitude. 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 Altitude.
Got the kill. Let's get the hell out of here. Hey, monkey. No, but we should fly. I think just the more we fly together, the more procedural stuff I'll pick up as we go. No? Alright, now let's just make sure we're not getting hunted from the air. Switch to air to air. So hold our altitude for a moment. Get ourselves back to safe base. Alright, I feel okay about getting some altitude now. Just check the Discord real quick. Alright. Cool. So I'm pretty sure we pounded that guy. I mean, it says we killed him, so I think he's out. And that's really the first time I've ever used MK-80. What's the heavier one? 4? MK-84s? I can check the SMS. 84s, yes sir. So not bad, that's pretty good. So we will go back to nav. Not the most realistic way to probably take something out, and I don't know if a real plane would have done that. It probably would have been better if we came through that pass to begin with, if I would have set custom waypoints and flown in and etc, but again, just showing you, like, you know, how you could join the server and do something and whatnot. Cool, that's good news, Space Monkey. I'll look forward to getting some flight time in and You know, we're finding those checklists some more. I think it's getting to a good place. And the reason I have 9Xs on my wingtips is I didn't bring 120s, just 9Xs, because I was heavy with bombs for that anti-ship run. DCS needs to model that then. I need penalties. Could you imagine though if it was modeled? Oh man, I'd be breaking the wings off this thing left and right. I hear how that's how the F-14 is. It's very easy to break the wings off of it, and you really have to get to know it to not do that. I also hear blowing the rotor off of the Huey is very easy, and I haven't done that yet. So maybe I have a fine touch, it's just misapplied. Alright, so while we're on our way back in, we'll land at Sochi, so let's get them dialed up. 127. Right control and backslash. ATC. Sochi, inbound.
Sochi, Springfield 5-1, inbound.
Try that again. Oh.
Sochi, Springfield 5-1, inbound.
I've seen videos where people break them off on takeoff. Like they lift off like a couple feet off the ground and then blow them off. It's pretty funny. Did I dial in the right 127? Oh, no, that's not him. Come on, Sochi.
Springfield 5-1, magic Sochi, Springfield 5-1, inbound. At 30,000 knots. Springfield 5-1,
There we go. Right, so let's get our RTB checklist going. Check fuel. We're good. Exterior lighting. On. Set steer point. Done. Tune into ATC. Done. Turn to ATC inbound heading. Done. Sochi traffic. Candy. Entry from the northwest. Preceding initial. I guess runway is unknown at this point. Let's see, there's a MiG-25 behind us. Happy to get home before he gets on us. And Space Monkey, it seems that you're right. I don't actually hear alternate calls coming through this. So I guess you can't monitor both, huh? Which is what you said, but I guess it's also modeled that way. Let's see if there's anything I could do. So it is set to both. Turn. Let's see if I switch to backup. That should probably do it. Sochi traffic, Candy on initial for runway 06. 10 miles out for final.
Altitude. Springfield 5-1, cleared for visual, contact tower. Sushi, Springfield 5-1, request landing. Springfield 5-1, Sochi, clear to land, runway 06.
Sochi traffic, Candy on final for runway 06, gear down, full stop.
Altitude. Springfield 5-1, taxi to parking area.
That's a bad checklist then. Guess we need a better thing. I'm just reading off the script. Minor details, yes, yes. I should have also stopped when I cleared the runway and ran through this other checklist, which I didn't do. But no matter. We will stop the video here. So again, this is just a quick video of how to join the Operation Candyland server, how to look at the mission briefing in Discord, how to figure out a mission for yourself to do, how to get up in the air, go do that mission, and then get your ass back home for safety, which we've done. Which is all good stuff. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Other than that, see you in the next video and hope to see you on the server. Take care.